Hi guys, so today I thought we'd do a quick video on how I grow my herbs. It's September now and some herbs grow really well this time of year, some it's a little bit too late for them. I bought these growing herbs, they come in soil like that, and I've got 2 coriander and 1 basil. Now it's too late to start growing basil from seed. Well, maybe not, but it doesn't grow very well. So I just find it easier growing herbs from little starter plants like this. This is my basil and it's been sat in my window now 5-6 weeks and that's it. That's all I've got. I don't know what I do wrong or what I've done wrong. So what I've decided to do is buy one of these. I'm going to split it up and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so I've got my soil and I've got some pots. I'm doing this inside because it's raining at the moment. I don't want to get the camera wet, but ideally you probably want to do this outside because it gets a bit messy. So first of all, I'll start with the basil. And that's what it looks like. Comes with a big root ball and there's loads of little plants in it, loads. So I'm going to split it up. And I just put my hands in and I rip it. So I'll probably get 4 plant pots worth out of this. Now I think it's a little bit cold to put basil outside now because it doesn't like the cold, so it'll do better inside. So I'm going to keep these inside. These pots don't need to be massive, but the bigger the pot, the better. It'll grow, it'll have more room to grow. So put a tiny little bit of soil at the bottom. Put the plant in. And then fill it out with soil. And it'll go really floppy and pathetic for a little bit, but that'll perk back up in a couple of days, and that just needs some water and it's done. So a little bit of soil at the bottom. This one's got a few more plants than that one, but it doesn't matter. Now these won't last all winter. What I'll have to do is when they grow a bit, I'll cut them and freeze the leaves or dry them. That way I can preserve them and they will last me a bit longer. Basil is just a 1 season crop really, and like I said, it likes to be really warm. So soon, now the light levels are getting shorter every day and it's getting colder, these won't do so well. But by keeping them on my window, they should last a bit longer. So these just need some water now and put in a sunny window and they'll do great. I'll just put these to the side for a minute so then I can show you the coriander. Now again, coriander comes in exactly the same way. I think these are like little peat pots. Yeah, so there's not many roots on that, as you can tell, because that's just fallen to bit. Now coriander does really well in the spring when it's cooler, and it does really well at the end of summer, beginning of autumn, because it's colder and this will live quite happily all winter outside, and then once spring comes and it gets a bit warmer, it will go to seed. I grow it in the spring and I harvest it, and then I let some plants go to seed, and then I harvest the seeds, and you can use the seeds in cooking or you can keep them for growing next year. If you're not very good at growing herbs or you don't want to faff around with it, this is a great way of doing it, and it's really quick. You know, you're buying little ready-made plants. So you just want to fill it with enough soil so it reaches the start where the plants are. You don't want to cover them too much because they'll rot. So like I said with the basil, this just needs some water now, and in a couple of days it'll perk up. Now I'm keeping this in for a couple of days because ripping it apart like that is a bit of a shock to the system. And putting it outside in the cold as well, that'll be another shock to the system, because I don't know, these are usually grown in perfect condition, so they grow really quickly. I like to keep them inside for a bit, but then these will go out and they'll stay there all winter. So another thing I've bought from Asda is garlic. I grow my own garlic every year, and I grow enough of it to last us all year. I just think it's really nice in some dishes. My little boy loves it as well. So I think it was about 3 years ago maybe, I went and I bought some bulbs from Wilko's. I bought them from a few different places, like just 2 bulbs, split them and planted them, and I think the variety was Casablanca. I also got like a purpley one as well, and for the first couple of years they were great. The purpley one, it never came out purple, it came out white. I couldn't tell the difference between the 2 varieties. My garlic is really, really mild. This year when I harvest it, they're tiny. Let me show you. So every year I try to save the biggest bulbs so I can have the biggest cloves to plant in the ground, and that's what I do every year. But this year that won't be possible because that's the biggest one. But most of them are that size and they're absolutely tiny. So I thought that one's a bit bigger, but they're still really small. And so I thought maybe this year that I should invest in some new garlic bulbs. So I went to, there's the Garlic Farm, I think it's in the Isle of Wight. There's Thompson & Morgan, Sutton's, King's, all of them. Loads of people sell them. Yeah, just looking for a good variety because I've got clay soil, and I'm thinking maybe that's why they don't grow very big. I was looking online for them, and wow, oh my gosh, they are so expensive. And until I can grow garlic really, really well and get my money's worth out of that, I think it can start anywhere like £7 for 2 bulbs, and you get maybe 20 cloves in 2 bulbs if you're lucky, which is a lot of money. So what I've decided to do is buy this organic garlic. This year I bought some organic garlic from Asda. This was 69p for 3 bulbs, and I thought I'd give it a go. I was given a raised bed from my brother, so I'm going to build that soon, and I'm going to put it in the back garden when I take some of the veg out, because that's nearly over with now, and raise it there. And then I'm going to plant these here on compost to see if it does any better than the clay soil in my allotment. I think the garlic just doesn't like it. So those are just some tips of what you can do and how you can grow vegetables and herbs. Well, how you can grow herbs mainly on a small budget. And these herbs are ideal for like little pots and stuff outside. Not everybody recommends this because they say they could have disease and pests in them that put it in your soil. I know it's worked for a lot of people, so I'm just going to give it a go and yeah, see how it turns out. So thanks for watching, and I hope you give it a go. I know Asda do rosemary, coriander, basil, and they do 2 different types of parsley as well, and they're all 50p a pot, and they're well worth it because you wouldn't be able to buy plants like that. Well, definitely not 4 for 50p. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.